لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك لبيك والنعمة.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. This is As You Answer the Call. I'm Rashida Abubakar, your regular anchor, welcoming you to another edition of the program. The management of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, continues its engagement with stakeholders in Hajj administration across the country. In the course of the engagement, NAHCON management met with state governors, traditional rulers and imams, among other stakeholders, to share views and opinions on ways of improving Hajj operations. After visiting Borno and Lagos State, Kebbi and Sokoto State were next in the lineup. Our spotlight segment will focus on what transpired during the visit. Also in the package, we have other regular segments such as Making the Hajj and NAHCON News Diary, which highlights the activities of NAHCON and other stakeholders in the Hajj industry. Still coming your way is the announcement of the quiz winner. Keep watching.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. The program kicks off with the News Diary. Top in the lineup, NAHCON announces successful tour operators and support companies for the 2025 Hajj. Stay tuned for this and more.
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, has shortlisted 118 licensed private tour operators to take part in the forthcoming Hajj exercise. A statement to this effect by the Commission's Assistant Director, Information and Publications Division, Fatima Sanda Usara, says the approval came after subjecting the companies to thorough screening. The statement further says that from the pool of approved private companies, 10 have been selected as leading companies. This is in line with the Saudi new guidelines for 2025 Hajj exercise.
We have to come down to 10 big companies instead of the initial 20.
In an interview, NAHCON Commissioner of Operation, Prince Anofio Olanrewaju Elegushi, shed more light on the policy and the sharing procedure.
The new policy of Saudi Arabia is that each company with 22,000 premiums. So, and their slot is 20,000. So if you divide, 2 by 20, will give you 10. So automatically, we have to come down to 10 big companies instead of the initial 20. So now it is going to be 10 big companies with 2,000 premiums each.
The 10 leading companies were selected along zones which include Kano, Lagos, and the FCT. From Kano zone, 4 leading companies were selected. They are Arafat Air Service Nigeria Limited, Dala Air Service Limited, Hamsil Travels and Tours Limited, and Zango Travels and Tours Limited. At the Lagos zone, the following 3 leading companies were picked: Al-Hujjaj International Umrah and Hajj Services Limited, Habdat Express Travels, and Shebra Travels Limited. And from the FCT zone, 3 companies emerged successful. They are Al-Kauthar Travels and Tours Limited, Omosa Travels Limited, as well as Portfolio Travels and Tour Limited. NAHCON advised intending pilgrims against patronizing unlicensed tour operators. In the meantime, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, has called on individuals or groups with complaints against the selection of the supporting companies to submit such complaints to the Commission on or before Friday, the 3rd of January 2025. Assistant Director, Information and Publications Division at Hajj House, Fatima Sanda Usara, stated these in a press statement. Hajia Usara says NAHCON will entertain credible evidences justifying complaints, assuring the public that the Commission will remain neutral in discharging its responsibilities to the stakeholders. NAHCON then appealed for cooperation and understanding from stakeholders and the public in order to achieve the objectives of serving Nigerian pilgrims in line with the international best practices. In other news, Katsina State Governor Dikko Umaru Rada says the state government has taken measures in ensuring that only qualified scholars are selected to accompany pilgrims during the Hajj exercise. The governor stated when he received the 2024 Hajj report at Government House. He said plans are underway to empower the State Pilgrims Welfare Board to handle the screening of scholars to better serve pilgrims. Governor Umaru Rada stressed the need to make reforms at the board in order to enhance the capacity of its personnel. He noted that public funds will not be expended on individuals who are not committed to serving pilgrims diligently. He then promised to establish a media committee for improved coverage of Hajj activities. Presenting the report, the state 2024 Hajj Amirul Hajj and former Deputy Governor Tukur Ahmed Jikamshi highlighted some of the recommendations in the report, which include enhanced medical service facilities. He appreciated the collaborative efforts of various stakeholders during the 2024 Hajj operation. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Kaduna State Pilgrims Welfare Agency, Malam Salihu Abubakar, has called on registration officers across the state to ensure strict compliance with requirements when making refund to pilgrims. A statement to this effect by the agency's spokesperson, Yunusa Mohammed, says the refund is for pilgrims who performed 2023 Hajj through the state. He said each pilgrim out of the 6,239 will receive 61,080 naira as a refund. While making the refund to states, NAHCON specifically stated that they are for poor electricity services during the stay in Mina, which affected the cooling systems and consequently caused inconvenience to pilgrims. The agency says all payments will be transferred directly to the bank accounts of the affected pilgrims. Other states and the FCT have conducted similar exercises after receiving the refunds from NAHCON.
Alhamdulillah, you are still watching as you answer the call, a public enlightenment presentation that keeps you abreast of the activities of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, and other Hajj-related matters. Through the strengthening of collaboration with various levels of government and community leaders, NAHCON seeks to create a more coordinated and efficient system of managing Hajj operations. In keeping with this, the Commission's officials have visited Kebbi and Sokoto State in continuation of their engagement tour. Details of the visit will form the thrust of our Spotlight segment. Keep watching.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك 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 اللهم لبيك لبيك لبيك.
The collaboration between the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, state governors, traditional rulers and Islamic scholars is key to ensuring smooth and efficient Hajj operations. In keeping with this, NAHCON management, led by its chairman, Professor Abdullahi Saleh Usman, have been visiting key stakeholders across the country for wider consultations on Hajj matters. While in Kebbi State, NAHCON officials met with the state governor, Dr. Nasir Idris Kaurangwandu. Speaking during the visit, NAHCON chairman, Professor Abdullahi Saleh Usman, said the visit was part of the Commission's nationwide tour to meet stakeholders for broader consultations and prayers towards the success of Hajj administration in Nigeria. Professor Abdullahi Saleh highlighted some of the approaches and policies being implemented by NAHCON to ensure better service delivery to Nigerian pilgrims at home and in Saudi Arabia. He said NAHCON's interaction with state governments ensures that policies at the federal level align with those at the state level. He said that his priorities are to find ways of making the Hajj fare affordable and to also provide services to Nigerian pilgrims in line with international best practices.
There is the need for us to make this visit so that together we can deliver as Hajj managers and stakeholders. My first strategy is to find ways of making the Hajj fare affordable for Nigerian pilgrims. With this, they can easily pay, and that will allow us more pilgrims to perform the Hajj. Secondly, we are making effort to ensure better service delivery for our pilgrims in Medina, Mecca and Mashair, that is Mina and Arafat. We want every bit of the services to be satisfactory so that they will be happy. With this, their attention will only focus on performing the Hajj rites comfortably and avoid what happened during the last Hajj exercise.
The NAHCON boss informed the governor about the commission's effort in negotiating services, particularly the air ticket fare. He said NAHCON is also strategizing on how to have air ticket paid in Naira instead of the US dollar.
With this idea, we have begun discussions with airliners on how to reduce the cost of air tickets. Alhamdulillah, we have received commitments from some of the airline companies. It is on this we are pleading with His Excellency to use his influence where necessary, so that the other companies will buy into our idea and fall in line for the success of this plan. Again, we are pushing for the minimal use of the US dollar in our transactions, particularly when making payments to airliners. The dollar is making the amount huge and difficult to pay. This creates enormous challenge for NAHCON and the states.
On Hajj Savings Scheme, Professor Abdullahi Salih restated the commitment of NAHCON to promote the scheme and allow more banks to participate in collecting deposits from intending pilgrims. Presently, only Jaiz Bank is officially assigned to collect the deposits for HSS.
Your Excellency, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, has a Hajj payment policy known as Hajj Savings Scheme. The scheme is important, but it is not well understood by many Nigerians. There is the need for people to understand the scheme. The idea of the Hajj Savings Scheme is to allow low-income earners and other interested individuals to make savings gradually and plan when to go for the Hajj. We started with one bank for the collection of the savings, but now other banks are allowed to take part, such as Lotus Bank, among others. The funds in the banks are invested in Sharia-compliant business, and the profits are shared with the depositors. As they continue paying gradually, and with the profit accrued, intending pilgrims can plan for the Hajj in 3, 4, or 5 years, as the case may be.
Similarly, the NAHCON chairman stated that the commission, as a policy, is now responsible for providing services to government officials and other dignitaries in Mina, particularly tent services. He said the decision is to avoid what happened during the 2024 Hajj exercise, announcing that such officials planning to go for Hajj should submit their names in good time to allow for early and proper preparation. Responding, Governor Nasir Idris commended NAHCON for its plans towards addressing challenges bedeviling Hajj administration in Nigeria. He was particular about the policy of NAHCON taking over service arrangements for government officials. Governor Nasir Idris assured NAHCON management of his support, saying he is ready to convince his counterparts to do the same in order to improve Hajj services for Nigerian pilgrims.
Mr. Chairman, I know you have challenges to address. The public is watching closely how you discharge this responsibility. Organizing Hajj operation is a huge task, so identify the challenges and we will support you to surmount them so that we all succeed.
Inshallah.
The governor further expressed his confidence in the new leadership at NAHCON.
I am assuring you that we will continue to do our best to support Hajj activities. We have confidence in the new leadership at NAHCON. It is good you are making this kind of consultations. We will get things right, inshallah.
While in Kebbi State, the NAHCON chairman and his entourage also visited the palace of the Emir of Arugungu, Alhaji Sama'ila Muhammad Mera. Professor Abdullahi Saleh Usman explained to the royal father the need for their support in mobilizing pilgrims to understand the policies being implemented by NAHCON and states towards improving Hajj management. In his remarks, the Emir of Arugungu, Alhaji Sama'ila Muhammad Mera, reiterated the support of the emirate to Hajj activities. He advised NAHCON management to redouble its effort in organizing a hitch-free Hajj exercise for Nigerian pilgrims. The Emir then prayed for NAHCON leadership and also for a successful 2025 Hajj operation. As the entourage moved to Sokoto State, the first assignment undertaken by the chairman first was the inspection of facilities at the State Hajj camp. It was led by Chairman of Sokoto State Pilgrims Welfare Agency, Aliyu Musa Gusau. Soon after that, the NAHCON boss and his team visited the former governor of Sokoto State, Senator Alu Magatakadda Wamako, at his residence. Interacting with the senator, NAHCON chairman Professor Abdullahi Saleh briefed him on what the commission is doing to make Hajj price affordable, promote Hajj saving scheme, and many more. Senator Alu Wamako called on NAHCON to reconsider Pilgrims' Basic Travelling Allowance (BTA) and Pilgrims' Enlightenment. He also called for patience on part of Hajj officials. The NAHCON management team plans to visit more states across the country. By working with these stakeholders, NAHCON's idea is to ensure that Nigerian pilgrims have a fulfilled and well-supported experience during the Hajj exercise.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك.
MashaAllah, the program is As You Answer the Call. Coming up next is Making the Hajj. Do stay with us.
Hajj is one of the pillars of Islam.
The circumambulation of the Holy Kaaba is a pillar of the major pilgrimage.
Arafah is the most significant pillar of Hajj. Whoever misses Arafah has missed Hajj.
The most important benefit of Hajj is to be born again.
And Al-Hajj al-Mabrur, accepted Hajj, has no any reward except the paradise.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك 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 اللهم.
Being in a state of Ihram is one of the pillars of Hajj and Umrah, without which the whole exercise becomes invalid. As pilgrims assume the state of Ihram at one of the designated mawaqit, they are expected to start chanting the Talbiyah.
Immediately one gets out of the bedroom, put on ihram and set to enter. In fact, from that point, so that is not a filthy place. You can start chanting until he enters bus, then you take him to Makkah. You will just be chanting it until when you get to Kaaba, Allah Akbar. Then you will now locate where we start is Hajj al-Aswad to start circumambulating the house of Allah 7 times.
Apart from the Talbiyah, pilgrims are allowed to offer other supplications while in the state of Ihram. Such supplications can be offered while on the plains of Arafah, at Muna, or when performing the Tawaf.
Tasbih. You can Subhanallah, bihamdi subhanallah azim, Subhanallah, alhamdulillah, Allahu akbar, wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. All sorts of prayer, especially from Hajj al-Aswad till when you reach the Rukn al-Yamani. By the time you are going to Aswad again, you are going to start Rabbana Atina Fid Dunya Hasanatan wa fil Akhirati Hasanatan. But another form of tasbih, takbirat, any form of glorification of Allah, they are allowed for somebody in state of Ihram.
The Ihram for Umrah is worn till the end of the rite, which can be for the entire day, while that of Hajj can be worn for 4 or 5 days. When pilgrims are in the state of Ihram, they are prohibited from using sand on their body or on the white garment, cutting their hair, nails, or anything on the skin, engage in vulgar talks or arguments, and hunting of animals.
Quran chapter 2, verse 197. Allah declares it. Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Al-Hajju ashhurun ma'lumatun. Wa man farada fina al-hajja wala rafatha wala fusuqa wala jidala fil hajj. Lay you are in state of ihram, la rafatha. You are not going to discuss any love affairs. It is forbidden to discuss, even with your wife. You don't discuss it like that. 2, you don't engage in arguments. The second one is a fusuk, any bad thing, cursing, abusing, gossiping, rumor mongering, unnecessary talks. You're supposed to distance yourself from it. The large jidal, you don't argue.
The Islamic scholar says violating ihram rules by pilgrims comes with penalties, such as fasting or slaughtering of animals. Among other lessons, the state of ihram symbolizes equality of all humans, as well as humility.
Of the first importance of ihram is for you to reoriginate the ether of your submission to the will of Allah. 2, it erases unnecessary racial or social discrimination. We are all equal. If care is not taken, by the time you are in Muna, you are in Iraq, unless you go to the front of the park before you recognize, because it will look like, which means it shows equality.
Imam Imran Abdul Wahab calls on intending pilgrims to broaden their knowledge on Hajj and Umrah, as well as general Islamic teachings.
Alhamdulillah, now it's time to know the winner of last week's quiz and also the question for this week. Good luck.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك.
Welcome to the quiz segment. The question in the last episode was, what should pilgrims do after assuming the state of Ihram? The correct answer is, begin chanting the Talbiyah. The winner is Sharifat Yusuf from Kogi State. She provided the answer ahead of others. Sharifat Yusuf will be contacted on how NAHCON will rate her with the prize she won. A quiz winner will get 25,000 Naira cash prize. This is part of NAHCON's effort in social investment in Nigeria. Now to the quiz for this week, and the question is, name 2 major lessons in the Talbiyah. Again, name 2 major lessons in the Talbiyah. Text your answer to the number showing on your screen. The winner will be the first person whose correct answer is received. All answers should carry the name and the location of sender. Good luck and happy viewing.
Once again, good luck to you. Up next are your messages.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لبيك.
Maina Muhammad sent in the first message. It reads, I commend NAHCON for its transparency in the selection process of service providers. This demonstrates NAHCON's commitment to delivering excellent services and upholding the welfare of Nigerian pilgrims. Fatimatu Musa sent in the second message. It has this prayer. I wish NAHCON management and other Hajj officials across the country Allah's guidance as they prepare for the 2025 Hajj operations.
The message segment ends this week's edition of the program. See you same time, same day next week with another edition of the program. But before we go, remember that you can send your messages, comments, observations, and questions through our mobile phone number and other social media platforms. Once again, thanks for watching. Ma'assalam.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا